Hi everyone, it's Savita the Starseed again here today. I wanted to go ahead and get another video started, so by the time those of you see the Starseed video, I'll have this one ready. So what this video is going to be on today is going to be on your Starseed awakening stages. The stages that you happen to go through when you realize you are indeed going through a Starseed awakening. Now, if you happen to click on this video and you do not know whether you are a Starseed yet, I'm gonna put the card right here and tag it so you could click it and watch it if you would like to know first.
So the
Starseed awakening stages. The very first one that you happen to go through is a life crisis. SHIT's not working out for you. Everybody's treating you like dog dookie. You're depressed as hell. You are confused. You are angry at the world. But why? Not only are you depressed, but you feel that this 3D reality is super annoying and it drains all of your freaking energy. Yeah, it happens. Lots of things happen to where you're like WTFH and you start to not see gratitude towards your life anymore. You feel burnt out, lost every day. You are just absolutely fed up and over your typical daily routine. You're fed up and over your typical daily life to where you want to see some changes. You start to think to yourself, is this really it for my life right now? Is this seriously what I'm destined to go through? It just sucks that we have to go through these horrible things first. When things happen like that continuously, you need to address deep down why that's happening, what's going on, what you can do to fix it. It's kind of like a self-reflection that the universe is trying to signal towards you. That way you can go inside and heal that deep emotional trauma that you happen to go through. And then once you do that, you start to have your spiritual awakening. Mine, and probably a lot of folks, happened right when COVID happened, because we were forced to sit inside and do nothing but think. And those inner demons come up, and then you're like, having mental breakdowns, and it sucks and it's hard, but it does get better. But that is the first stage of going through a Starseed awakening, is practically a life crisis and feeling that you don't have self-worth. The second stage is that your beliefs and your perspectives about what you grew up to believe, you don't believe in it anymore. You're going on your own path to find out what you truly believe in right here in your soul or your heart or your tetas. Seriously, you start to think, okay, well, there's more to this life than ABC, XYZ. You are starting to embrace how the universe works. You start to love it and appreciate it, but your perspectives change from what you grew up to believe in because you know that there's a deeper meaning and purpose to this life you are in right now. What you thought was initially true no longer resonates with you. You feel that you're just destined for more. Current practices and beliefs that you were raised to believe in or that you currently have just aren't cutting it for you. That's okay. You feel this stuff doesn't resonate with you anymore because you have practically a reality check and you're just like, hold on, pump the brakes here. This doesn't sit right with me. Intuition, that gut feeling, that magnet, there's more to this. And you are correct. Now it is up to you. Either you step out of it completely and change it for yourself and for your future children, if assuming you're gonna have kids, or if you're gonna stick with that. You see things for what they really are and what they're really not. That's the second stage. Stage number 3. This is probably the most frustrating one. I went through this one terribly, but you practically are forced to slow down. And let me explain. Do you ever just like try to do something or get something done and you try your best to make something happen and you put all your energy into it just for nothing to work out and for nothing to happen? Well, this is stage number 3. You are literally forced to slow down to where it feels like the universe is literally saying,
Putita, not right now. Hello, not right now.
That's literally what the universe is saying, is that you are not destined for something yet. You feel that something is intentionally stopping you. And you can tell when that happens. You feel that you're stuck by force, not by your own choice. And it gets really annoying. You just want to be on the move. You just want to get things done. But something's telling you that you can't. Something's telling you, hey, Not yet. And the reason why is because you are meant to slow your roll and reflect on your personal surroundings. You're supposed to have a personal reflection, fix the things around you that need to be fixed before you continue with your personal interests. For me, I was supposed to graduate many semesters ago, but my university kept bending me over. I realize now that the reason why I didn't graduate yet was because I was destined to move when my lease ended this summer. And that's literally what happened. And it's funny how the universe works out, because I was dying to graduate. I've been in college for roughly 7 years now. I only got 2 classes left. I realized in the spring when I got pushed back again and when they canceled a summer class, that I'm just like, you know what? I'll just take the summer off, cool my jets, go on a trip, which happened to be my spiritual awakening. That one was a major hey to me. Like, you are pumping the brakes before you graduate, get an apartment, get your career going. But then once you do all of that, you will find what you seek. It just takes time. Now, how long these stages take, I don't know. I'm not a professional. Either these go in order. I would say so, because to me, this literally happened in the order I'm reading them. And multiple sources had stuff like this. The next stage after you're forced to slow down is that you get spiritual. You dive into the metaphysical stuff, whether it's tarot, crystals, numerology, zodiac signs, astrology, astronomy, palm readings, all that stuff interests you. You're seriously diving into it and you're actually embracing it. You actually practice it. You notice the energy and how it changes and manipulates around you. And all of it starts to excite you like a kid in a candy store or like a dog wagging its tail. It's actually pretty cool. While I was on my spiritual journey, my rainbow obsidian had a crescent moon on it, and I literally watched the crescent moon disappear overnight. I'm not kidding. It's like I didn't know it was going to disappear, so I didn't take a picture of the stone up close. It's a screenshot of a video. But you'll be able to see the crescent moon, and then I'll follow it up for 2 pictures of it disappearing, and just
You'll see this teeny tiny moon fading away.
cool, right? To me, that was like, whoa. I totally believe that what I'm doing is working, because how the heck would a crystal just change in front of me? How would this rainbow obsidian just change in front of me? I didn't expose it to sunlight. It just changed because I harvested its energy. When you start to see that what you're investing your energy in works with the metaphysical stuff, it's pretty badass. And you just love it. It's like your new hobby, and it makes you you. So the 5th stage of your Starseed awakening process is identifying your shadow self. Your shadow self is basically the part deep inside you that has that negativity or that minor jealousy or that hatred. It's the part of you that makes your blood boil. But it's because you subconsciously compare yourself to the other individual. Now, if it's their actions that you just completely don't agree with, that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, for example, that I know somebody who literally hated ABCXYZ because it made him insecure as a person. Rather, instead, he addressed those insecurities, and then he no longer was hateful towards ABCXYZ. You stop to project things about yourself that you hate through others. It's like a mirror. But once you do that and take your personal self-reflection and stop letting things boil your blood, you start to stop caring. The 6th stage is that you fix the relationship with yourself. What do I mean by that? You're no longer perceiving yourself as 2 individuals. You are instead treating yourself as one, because you have your online version and then you have your non-online self. Basically, throw out both and just become one. Why should the internet be a place where people put on this fake facade? It's usually toxic for someone's subconscious for them to do the same, because some people will try to pretend that their life is absolutely perfect online just to get people's validation, which needs to stop, because that is not healthy for you. In turn, makes them super depressed, upset, and then behind closed doors in real life, they're harming themselves subconsciously. And it's like toxins for your brain, for your skin, and everything. Like, just when you beat yourself down like that, it really just hones in on your energy and just sucks the life out of you. Or acknowledging that you're being honest and clean with yourself, that you're just not making up lies to make people impressed. You're just honest. You're just genuine with who you are. You're just not afraid to admit it. Really embrace, who you are as an individual, and you start to love and nurture it. Pretty much you and your entire life, you just need honesty, and it starts with yourself. You've seen Rick and Morty. Get your SHIT together. And once you do, a lot of stress stress really gets off your shoulders. A huge weight gets off your shoulders because you're no longer worried or afraid of what people are gonna think, because you don't care anymore. You are who you are. And the next stage is pretty much your signs everywhere. Either it's number synchronicity, angel numbers, have your angel guides, spirit guides, colors to indicate what chakras you need to work on. I saw a lot of red when I first started going through my spiritual awakening. You start to notice signs everywhere. Number synchronicity is when you see like 111, 222, 333, 444, 555, 717, 737, 313. Like, you start to notice patterns. My first number was 717 in a dream. It was a dream with my favorite idol, Tom DeLonge from Blink-182/Angels and Airwaves. Love that man to the stars. Literally, he has a company called To the Stars. He was really big on UFO disclosure and UAP disclosure recently. Honestly, thanks to him, people are recognizing it now. Out of all the people in the world, it's my idol that not a lot of people know and love. Because I guarantee you, some of you watching this are going to be like, who's Tom But I thought it was funny because he's pretty much the diamond in the rough. I happened to meet him at a party and I happened to get his number, and his first 3 digits, not the area code, but his first 3 digits were 717. I couldn't remember the other 4 numbers. Maybe there was a 4 in there, but I wasn't destined to remember that. I was destined to remember 717. And when I looked it up, 717 was like, oh yeah, you're going on your right path. I always woke up at 3:33 a.m. on the dot every night. And 3 to 4 a.m. is the witching hour, which is kind of sketchy to me. Practically notice a bunch of number synchronicities, patterns, and symbols, and signals, and signs to where you're like, okay, clearly things are being thrown at me. Another example was I kind of said a quick prayer in my head while I was on my spiritual journey, and I was like, oh, please give me a sign that everything's okay. And the next thing I know is that I'm walking through a shop and I happen to come across this. I had a grandfather that passed in 2008 and I called him Papa. And I thought that was really funny that one of the first stores I went in, I saw this. He was literally a man, a myth, a legend. This dude was the only other engineer in my family and I loved him to death. I wish he was still alive to today, but you get what I mean. This was a sign right here, literally. And I was also with my aunt, which this is her father, and she said that she heard a song in the store that reminded her of him. And I'm like, that's not a coincidence. This was literally my grandfather watching over us after so long. Just, I waited to hear something from him, and he's still there energetically. Sorry, but you really start to notice these things. That's the next stage. The next stage is that you find your destiny. You're filled with just a ton of more information subconsciously, or just even after researching or after all this time of going through these stages, that you really start to notice that you have a specific path. It's a path that you're destined to follow. I don't know if it's for eternity. Like, people could literally just have a purpose that is only meant for a week. People can have a purpose that's meant for the rest of their lifetime. Everybody's different. You start to notice after you have all those signals and signs and your meditation, yoga, etc., practicing metaphysical stuff, that you start to find your clear and divine path. And then when you start to notice the information or start to notice the path that you're supposed to go on, it's clearer than ever before, that you're just like, oh my God, this is what I'm meant to do. Just clicks. There might be some fear or blockage along the way, but that's okay. You're meant to get over those fears, because the fears and the blocks are practically a test for you to get past. Basically a test to make sure that you did in fact discover your purpose and that that is the right thing for you to do. The last stage that you go through is practically when you're one with the Force. I say the Force because I feel that with Star Wars, the way that they embrace the energy is the way that we are supposed to. I'm not saying that we're moving things with our minds. That's not right here, right now. Right here, right now, we're supposed to work and feel that energy. But when you're one with the Force, you're practically connected to the divine. You're able to receive messages and understand what they're saying immediately. That way, when you go to psychics or mediums or tarot readers, if you notice how confident they are and how serious they are and how accurate they are, is because they became one with the Force. They ended up talking to the divine. They finally had that connection because them too went through these stages. You're literally just connected to the above without any religions or other external influences tying you down and limiting you. If you feel that you're not supposed to practice ABC, XYZ, don't do it. Just because your family does, doesn't mean that you're supposed to. Just because your peers do doesn't mean you have to. You be your own person, please. It's very important for your subconscious and your higher self and your shadow self too. Well, those are the stages that you go through when you're going through a starseed awakening. And again, if you don't know if you're a starseed, but you happen to watch through this whole video, I will put the links available so you may go ahead and watch it. The next upcoming video is going to be about how to activate your starseed power. Now, your starseed power, I believe that will come once you go through these stages, or at least when you're on the last stage, which is being connected to the divine, being one with the force. And I hope this helped. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and I will see y'all later. Bye.